South Boston Speedway. We're going to catch up with Deac McCaskill and hear about his return to late model stock victory lane. We're also going to hear from Nick Loden about his first Cars Tour Pro late model win. Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies, is next. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies. I'm JD Bowsher, and this week I am lucky to be joined by the Zach Evans. Zach, thank you so much for being my co-pilot today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I don't know how lucky you are. You may not be as lucky as you think you are, but I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm always lucky to have you, sir. We're glad to have 5-Star Race Car Bodies back this week as the sponsor for Cars Tour Weekly. Dirt or pavement, late models to street stocks, and everything in between. 5-Star Race Car Bodies are the folks to talk to if you are in the market for a new body or body parts. It's time now to take a break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to catch up with Deac McCaskill, hear about his big win at South Boston Speedway. You're watching Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
5-Star Bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-Star.
Don't miss the 21st annual John Blewett III North-South Shootout in memory of Charles Kepley at Caraway Speedway, November 2nd through the 4th, plus championship races for the Cars Tour Late Model Stock and Pro Late Models. The ground-pounding Tour-type Modifieds race for $10,000 to win. Also racing the 602 Modifieds and more. It's the 21st annual North-South Shootout at Caraway Speedway, November 2nd through the 4th. For reserved tickets, camping, or info, visit carawayspeedway.com.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies, and we are now joined by the one and only Mr. Deac McCaskill himself. Deac, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Hey, appreciate you having me on.
Now, I always get excited when I see you race because I've known people like Zach and Andy Marquise, and that when I first got into late model racing, it was like, oh, Deac McCaskill, Deac McCaskill. And since then, I feel like I've really seen you win a lot of big races. This has only been your second win in the Cars Tour this year, but it's still a big win. You were able to hold off Lane Riggs. How was obviously you had a good night, but tell me a little bit about your night.
Yeah, we did. We had a really good night. We qualified outside pole, which something we hadn't done in a while. Our qualifying's just been really off. So we just had a good starting position, had good track position, and was able to get in front of Lane right there at the start of the race. And I think track position was just really key. Clean air was real big up there, and we just were able to get the top side rolling really good, and just made it really hard for them guys to get by me. And we just had to fight hard for 125 laps and was able to hold them off.
Deac, in Victory Lane, you kind of touched on this, and I wanted to discuss it a little bit more. We go back to the start of the Cars Tour, right? You were in that first championship battle with Brayton Haas and Myatt Snyder. You won the title in 2016, and there was always plenty of competition, especially race against guys like Jamie Cottle and Tommy Lemons and all those guys in the start. But now, not only are the drivers so good in the late model stock deal, but you've got Carson Kvapil driving for Junior. You've got, you know, Brendan Queen driving for Lee Pulliam, Bobby McCarty working with Marcus Richmond over in RNS. It goes on. And there you were on Saturday night having to hold off Lane Riggs driving in the Kevin Harvick car. What has it been like as a family team to compete against these great drivers and great teams and get wins this year?
It's huge. Like you were saying, we're going against some of the best teams in late model stock car racing for sure. The competition is just out of control right now. It's the most competitive thing I've ever been a part of for sure. And back when this tour first started, if you can walk out with a top 5 finish, you're a pretty good night. And now it's almost to the point where if you can get a top 10 finish, you've had a decent night because it's just so competitive. You look at qualifying times, and I mean the top 10, top 12 is separated by almost a tenth, and there's a lot of these teams got a lot of money behind them, a lot of resources, a lot of engineers. It's just it's gotten really really big, and this is still just a family run team, and I got great help from Marcus Richmond and RNS Race Cars, who just helps me out a lot. I don't have to I can just give him a call and tell him kind of what's going on. He can always just get me pointed in the right direction. So that's a huge help. That's really about the only way we're able to compete with these guys.
All right, so you've got 2 wins this year, 11 to your Cars Tour career. Are you going to Tri-County?
Yes, we're going to be at Tri County in 2 weeks. Looking forward to getting back up there. We had a really good car at 30K race, so excited to get back up there, and always enjoyed that area and the track and the people up there, and the fans are great. So yeah, we're excited to get back up there.
Going back to Saturday night real quick, you mentioned battling with Lane there at the end of the race and really doing everything you could to be hard to pass. And, working that high line, it kind of reminded me a lot of another place you're very familiar with, Orange County, and all the races you've run there and won there, especially one night I remember you were racing against Timothy Peters in a Cars Tour race and won that one. How much of that past and that notebook help when dealing with Lane on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, it's just something I've been pretty familiar with, racing up there. I was telling them guys on the interview, I remember back in, I believe it was '05, I was really the first one to kind of get up there and make that outside line, come in and work really well. And it's just something I'm just comfortable doing. I know it makes some guys, really, really hard to pass. And the, you know, you got to have a lot of respect for each other to race like me and Lane did. And we've always, raced really good with each other. And, we rubbed a little bit, but nothing, it's just hard racing, like I said, but yeah, it's just something I'm really comfortable doing. You got to have a good handling car to do it as well. And you're just able to make them straightaways a lot longer, and just carry a lot of momentum off the corner and make some guys really really hard to pass. I believe you still can pass. You just got to be, your car on the bottom just almost got to be perfect to get by that guy on the outside, but it makes it really hard for him.
Now, you got to race against Lane Riggs the other night, and you've been around for a little while. You've been, racing for a minute. Did you ever get to race against his dad, Scott, too?
I'm glad you brought that up. My first late model race I ever won, I passed Scott for the win back at Orange County. I think it was either '95 or '96. So yeah, we've raced against Scott, and known the Riggs family for a long time. My dad and Scott's dad knows each other well. So yeah, I think Lane mentioned that I had been running outside at South Boston before he was born, so he might be right on that.
So we mentioned Tri-County coming up, of course, wrapping up the season with the North-South Shootout weekend at Caraway. Looking ahead beyond that, do you know kind of what you might have in store for 2024?
Not yet. We're going to, kind of finish this year out and see what the off season brings. The sport is it's getting more expensive to run every week. Tires, fuel, everything's going up. But these new owners we got coming in this year and next year is doing everything they can to help us little guys out to kind of keep the cost down as much as they can. So we're going to see if we can get, enough sponsorship, and I'm sure we'll come back for another season. I still feel like I got a little bit of racing left in me. I'm only 46, so I can still run with these young guys, and we'll see what happens.
Well, you definitely can run against these young guys, and you showed them what was up Saturday night. Deac, thank you so much. Coming up next on Cars Tour Weekly, we're going to view the highlights from last weekend at South Boston Speedway. Don't go anywhere.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Builders ready? Yep. Good deep breath. Yep. Breathe. Full pack on that side.
Build these racing engines, fire them up, get that sound, get that smell. It's a fun 2 days.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies. Zach and JD here, and both the Cars Pro late models and the late model stocks returned to action this weekend at South Boston Speedway. Zach, you really can't find a place that has more history for late models than South Boston.
Oh, so much history at South Boston. I mean, you think about even, over the years, all the people that have won the track championship there. I mean, guys like the Burtons, the Sadlers. Yeah. I mean, you go way back to guys like Ray Hendrick. I mean, wow. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just really a who's who of some of the greats in our sport have raced at South Boston over the years.
Well, with that being said, let's take a look at the Cars Pro late model highlights. Nick Loden and the 28 of Cole Butcher on the front row, with the Butcher taking the early advantage. Great three-way battle for the lead between Butcher, Loden, and the 96 of Caden Quapple. Loden sticks with it on the bottom and eventually takes the lead. A caution with 4 laps to go for Chris Wright, and the 15 of Aiden King sets up a dash for the checkers. On the restart, Butcher takes Loden high in turn 1, but Loden fights back to take the lead. He holds off Butcher for his first career Cars Pro late model win.
I have to enjoy it a little bit. Nick Loden, obviously the son of Andy Loden. There's no telling how many races Andy Loden won at places like Tri-County and Hickory, running that high line, and that's what Nick looked like there in that race. And obviously we all know what Cole Butcher has done this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting a win against him
is huge.
Big deal this year.
Yeah,
big deal.
Definitely a big deal. He's had a phenomenal season. Thank you, Zach. Now let's take a look at the late model stock highlights from this past weekend. Lane Riggs and the 08 of Deac McCaskill on the front row. Lap 18, the 17 of Stacy Puryear spins across the track, sending him and Minnie Tyrell into the front stretch wall. And Minnie was not so happy.
Super slow in front of me, and I moved him one time, and then he goes under caution and tries to tear my nose off. So clearly he wasn't happy about that and decides to use me up. I mean, we're only on like lap 10, and then him and a kid that wrecked about everybody in Tri-County is going after it, and then just hooks him into the wall. I mean, it's really sad that you got such a professional racing series and you're out there racing against children, and the guy's, I don't know, 65 years old. But I don't know, I mean, he doesn't belong in a race car, neither does the kid in the 44 car, so.
More problems with 32 laps to go when Sobo regular Jacob Borst hits the inside wall. A closer look shows tight racing and contact with Mason Diaz, sending Borst spinning. Riggs would pull alongside McCaskill several times over the final laps, but just doesn't have enough to clear him. McCaskill edges Riggs out of the line to take his second win of the season and his 11th of his Cars Tour late model stock career. And Deac McCaskill, I mean, he's definitely a shoe. He's a pretty good shoe at Southern National. Isn't that your home track?
Southern National was my home track. Deac McCaskill's a 4-time champion there. And look, but he also did a lot of racing at Orange County at one time. And a lot of that Orange County mentality you could tell was in play at South Boston Saturday night, running that high line, keeping Lane Riggs kind of pinched to the bottom and doing exactly what he needed to do to stay in front and pick up his 11th career Cars Tour win.
Coming up, we'll talk to another winner of this weekend. Nick Loden got his first win at South Boston. We're going to hear all about it. You're watching Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies.
Car Bodies will be back right after this.
Don't miss the 21st annual John Blewett III North-South Shootout in memory of Charles Kepley at Caraway Speedway, November 2nd through the 4th, plus championship races for the Cars Tour late model stock and pro late models. The ground-pounding tour-type modifieds race for $10,000 to win. Also racing the 602 modifieds and more. It's the 21st annual North-South Shootout at Caraway Speedway, November 2nd through the 4th. For reserved tickets, camping, or info, visit carawayspeedway.com.
Get up on your feet, race fans.
Can you believe it? Right now, racing, in my opinion, is as healthy as it's been in the last 15 to 20 years.
Just wanted to make that first lap.
Gonna go.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies, and we are now joined by Nick Loden. Nick, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you were finally able to capture your first Cars Pro late model win at South Boston, and you didn't get it easy. How was your victory? Did you relish it?
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I had to fight hard to get that win.
Yeah, for sure. And, we've seen you win over in the Carolina Pro Late Model Series a few times over the years, but now have that first Cars Tour Pro Late Model win under your belt. How much does it mean to get that first win?
It means a lot. It means a lot more, especially after it's been 2 years now since we won in CPLMS, and we've had not very good luck, especially at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. For those that don't know, you had sustained an injury at North Wilkesboro, but you're back now. Do you feel like you have any residual effects from that, or do you think you're good to go, or are you just gonna not tell us?
No, I'm fine after that. I just had a concussion, but I got over that pretty quick.
Well, good. Yeah, those can be a little difficult to overcome. You've been seeing what we see with Isabella Robusto, basically. Yeah.
So, so looking back at Saturday night, obviously you had to go against one of the guys who's been just on fire this year in Cole Butcher at the end of the race. What was it like battling with him in the closing laps?
Well, I saw that my spotter told me they were wrecking, and I was like, oh, great, with 5 to go. And I looked up at the leaderboard, and I saw he was behind me. I knew he was probably going to get into me on that restart. I've raced with him before, as he drives like that a lot. Like he said in his interview, he can be a bully on the track. So I was ready for it, and it played out pretty well. So.
Well, you've got the first one behind you now. We're going into Tri-County. Is this a place you like, or what are we looking for when you get on the track at Tri-County?
I like Tri-County. Last time we went there a few weeks ago, and might have had something for Quapple. We definitely had a second place car, but the clutch broke on lap 30, so we didn't get to show it.
Looking forward, of course, we mentioned Tri-County coming up in a couple of weeks, but big picture, are you starting to get an idea what 2024 might look like for you?
We'll probably be running the car store again.
Are you looking to stay with the pros, or you want to move it to late model stocks? Like, what's kind of fitting your bill right now?
Yeah, we're gonna stay with the pros for sure.
Yeah, I like that. Rack up a few more wins, maybe get a championship, and then move up to the late model stock. So, and you did mention that Cole Butcher said that he could be a little bit of a bully on the racetrack. When it comes to dealing with somebody like that, you've got him behind you. What's your mindset? How are you saying, okay, this guy's going to hit me, but I'm going to, watch this? What are you thinking when that's going on?
It's trying to fight back as hard as you can without wrecking the car. That's all that was going through my head, was I wanted to move him back out the way after he hit me into turn 1, but I didn't want to damage the car too much.
All right, Nick. So you really worked the bottom at South Boston, and that's something we don't typically see. How are you able to make your car work on the bottom when pretty much everybody else is taking the high side?
Well, it helped. Whenever I would get out of their dirty air, the car would turn a lot better. It's never got that aero tight before. I don't know what was different that race, but whenever I was behind them, it would feel like it was getting aero tight. So when they weren't on the bottom and I could get down there, my car would turn pretty good. And that's where it wanted to run even when I was by myself. So it worked out pretty good that they wanted to be up on the top.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nick. You have a great evening, and we'll see you at Tri-County.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Next, we'll wrap up another episode of Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Builders ready? Yep. Good deep breath. Yep. Breathe. Full pack on that side.
Build these racing engines, fire them up, get that sound, get that smell. It's a fun 2 days.
Oh yeah, we're good. Good. We're good.
5-Star Bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-Star.
All time would probably be, I won a race at South Boston. I think I was in the K&N series at the time, and I hadn't won a race that year in the late model. And so I think it was just a big win for me. Our car wasn't exactly that great, but I figured something out and was running a different line than the other guys, and passed all the way up to the lead, and kind of, I think I was running like 4th or 5th and passed all those guys and got up to the lead. So it was just kind of a crazy race because I just found something that worked and took my car to the front.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Cars Tour Weekly, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies. Located in Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, whether it's dirt or pavement, it doesn't matter, because 5-Star is your one-stop shop for all your body needs. So, Zach, the Cars Tour is off this weekend, but next weekend we're going to go back to Tri-County. How are you feeling about what's gonna go down? I mean, there's so much that went on. I mean, Landon Huffman won there at, the Old North State, race, but then now he's out of that ride, and Connor Jones is now suspended, which I forgot to mention earlier. I mean, what do you think we're going to see that next following weekend?
Well, the first thing I think we're going to see is a great race, right?
Right.
Tri-County always putting on an awesome on-track product, and I swear every time I've gone there the last couple of years, it seems like there's something else they've added to the facility to make it that much nicer to go to. But definitely a lot of storylines. I mean, look, that's, you get to the end of the season, and there's always people auditioning for rides next season, or people, you hate to say it, but maybe settling balances and debts and paying off.
Payback.
Remembering things from, maybe Hickory in March or whatever. And that's just how it goes when you get to the end of the year. And hopefully it doesn't get too out of hand, but you'll have that in short track racing.
To keep up with everything going on, please follow us on all of our social media channels, racingamerica.tv, and be sure to stay tuned for Dirty Air with Rodney Rodriguez. For Zach Evans, I'm JD Bowsher. Have a great night.